What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, OmiseGO, and DigiByte. Those are the 5 that we're going to be going over today. And I first wanted to dig in with Bitcoin because what we were looking at yesterday, I know people were getting extremely excited that we were breaking out of this symmetrical triangle here. But what happened was it didn't come on the most volume. What you can actually see here is the selling volume of yesterday was actually higher than the breakout volume that we had. So in my opinion, this would definitely qualify as one of those 5% failures. What we need to look at next is to see if this is just going to be a 5% failure where we go back and back test that 20 EMA that we're sitting at right now and we get another bounce off that, or if this is going to be some type of a busted pattern to where we start falling through. And guys, the reason I would put this alarm in on the downside at 8,535 is because if we lose this higher low that we've been dealing with in this symmetrical triangle, then this whole structure is just going to be broken as it is. And then we most likely will start seeing a lot more downside. If you start reading in some articles, John Bollinger was putting out a warning today about Bitcoin, the fact that we did break up through that symmetrical triangle and we didn't have strong enough volume to get over top of that 10,500. That gives people opportunities then to jump in shorts because we got rejected at that 10,500. So people will jump in there and say, okay, that might be the top of the trend. But for me, I'm not there yet. I want to see what Bitcoin's going to do today. I want to see if we're going to continue to have daily candle closes up above this 20 EMA. Right now, we're on the 1-day time frame, so each candle is representing 1 day, and we need to stay up above this 20 because typically in bull markets, you're up above that 20 for most of the time. In bear markets, you're going to be below it most of the time. It's going to act as overhead resistance. So for me, guys, we need to hold that area. The next area that we would need to hold if we do start falling down is going to be that 50 moving average at 8,710, and then it'd be that 200 moving average at 8,081. If we drop below the 200 moving average after trading up above it since roughly, guys, about the end of April 29th, so all May we had been up above it and we start losing that, that's when things will get very ugly. I promise you, it will be all bombs away if we do not hold that 200 moving average. So really keep an eye on that. Put an alarm right around it. You can see I have an alarm up above it at that higher low that we had there. If that's lost, then we can start getting into some trouble. But overall, what Bitcoin needs to do here, we need to find support off this 20. You can see how we broke out. We had that 5% failure and we came back, we wicked to that 20. So we're still defending the 20, but what you can see now is basically have one of those spinning top candles. It's a lot of fight between the bulls and the bears, and we need good volume buying pressure to the upside, and that's not so much coming in right now. But guys, when we take a look at Bitcoin here and we look at the manipulation, there's something I just wanted to show you here. So take a look at this pattern. You won't find this many times in charting books, but we had very high volume, a very high volume breakout to the upside. And according to most books, if you close 3 to 5% up above that trend line on a daily candle, that's when you want to jump in. But this is cryptocurrency. Sometimes you want to wait one day just to see what's going to happen. But you can see on the 1 hour time frame how these things happen. A lot of these moves happen in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, because these are the whales. You can see the whale came in right here, pushed it up high. We moved sideways for maybe about 12 hours there, and then the massive dump came in. And in my opinion, this is even more volume than what you see from this stick right here. You can see these 2 massive sticks of volume that came in selling. And a lot of times what you'll get is that strong move to the upside. The whales will break it up there, so everyone jumps in. All the retail traders think it's a true symmetrical triangle break, and then they'll actually dump it. They'll sell out after they've made their gains, or they'll jump on the backside and short it all the way down after they've sold out. So, you know, guys, this is just a tough area because we had this massive selling pressure. Now we've been trying to move back up, and we're not having a big swelling of volume right now like you'd want to see to try to make another move to the upside. So for me, this is an area to be extremely careful with Bitcoin when you have this type of manipulation that's happening. And that's what I wanted to put out there for you guys. Those are the things that I want you to watch here. And the next one we're going to get into is Ethereum. But if you guys like me covering this, you want me to continue to do these daily videos for you, like, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that notification bell. Really hit the notification bell. YouTube's been messing with me a little bit here. About half of the people were saying that they weren't getting the notifications. So if you are getting them, let me know. If you're not getting them, let me know. But I'm trying to do the best that I can, guys, to get this out to you as soon as possible here. So that's Bitcoin. Just be extremely careful because the manipulation is very real right now. Okay? That's the main thing that I can tell you. And if we do take a quick look at TradingView, just wanted to point this out to you. You can see our oscillators now A lot of them are neutral. We have 8 neutral, 2 sell, 1 buy. Overall summary, we have a 5 sell, 9 neutral, 14 buy. And then our moving averages, because we're up above the 20, the 50, and the 200, we do have that strong buy. But what you can see is we're throwing a lot of neutral signs and sell signs in terms of these MACDs, momentum, stochastic, all that different types of stuff that we do need to pay very close attention to. So that's Bitcoin, guys. We're going to move into Ethereum next. We'll take a look at this, and we're going to bounce out to the 1-day time frame for Ethereum. And if you're here for ETH, let me know down low, guys. Just say, here for ETH, anything like that. I really love to see what people want to hear here. So for me, this yellow trend line, we got a beautiful trend line break. That was a nice candle close. It was on above average volume, made a really nice move up to that $247. We'll call it $248. That was the next resistance that we needed to get up to. So now we're having that fight, and you can see we're having another spinning top candle, a big fight between the bulls and the bears over this area. So the bulls need to push over $248, and the bulls need to push over $248, and the bears now, they're going to try to be pushing down to around that $205. So overall as support, we need to hold 205, and what we need to get up over top is that $248. If we get over top at 248, then we could run up to around that 286, which would be another nice little gain there. You want to work those areas, guys. Just a thing like working 205 up to that 247, that's a nice little move there, and that's something I'm keeping an eye on. In terms of Ethereum, we're still up above the 20, we're still up above the 50, we're still up above the 200. So this is where if you're in a position, you still want to stay in your position. We haven't had any of those sell signals fully yet, but this is an area still, yet again, guys, with all the manipulation, you need to be careful in this area. But that's what I'm looking for in terms of Ethereum. If we take a look at our relative strength index at this area here, we ended up getting up to around 70 as we were approaching that 248 overhead resistance area. And obviously we've had a little bit of selling off since then, but we're just going to have to see what today continues on to bring us in terms of the daily candle close. If we take a look here, what you're looking at is oscillator, 7 neutral, 2 buy, 2 neutral. Excuse me, guys. So overall oscillators right now are just completely neutral. In terms of your overall summary, you have a 4 sell, 8 neutral, 16 buy. And then moving averages, we have a 2 sell, 1 neutral, and a 14 buy. So that's another reason right now you would just want to continue to stay. And you could even draw a little trend line here. You would want to stay in your position right now if you were in Ethereum position. This wouldn't be the time to sell out until we have further confirmation here. So guys, remember, none of this is financial advice. This is just, I'm going strictly off what the books tell me, and all the books that I've read and studied and all the things. I try to put them into this cryptocurrency space, even though it's vastly different than the stock market, but a lot of things still will work out well for you. So that's going to be Ethereum. The next one we're going to take a look at is Litecoin, and that's at $46.55 right now. And what's tough with Litecoin, guys, we're really getting a squeezing effect now. We're up above this 50 moving average, but we're below this 200 moving average. And remember, this on the 1-day time frame, so we're getting that squeeze here. And you can also see my green trend line of these higher lows is still intact. But for me, I would not jump in. If I didn't have a Litecoin position, this would not be the area I would jump in until I see us start having candle closes up above this 200 moving average and treating it as support. This is a tough area to say, hey, I want to jump in now when you have very staunch overhead resistance right up above us. That 200 moving average, we have not been trading up above it since March 8th. So that could act as really strong resistance. And that's what we have to be aware of, because typically once we get up above that, we can really run hard and fast, but it's getting up above that is the most difficult thing for us. And what you can see is we also had a pretty decent sell volume at that 200 moving average. We wicked up to it. So when people say technical analysis isn't important, guys, I would greatly disagree. Why is there selling pressure right here exactly at that 200 moving average that we haven't broken up through in over 2 months? I mean, these things, they work themselves out over and over and over. And if you can align yourself with the trend and you can figure this stuff out, guys, it'll help you so much. But for me, you never want to jump in a position when you have very strong overhead resistance staring you in the face right now. I would rather buy Litecoin up above the 200 moving average once we found support off it than I would here, because we still have the risk now. If we lose this 50, then we could start dropping down around the $40 range, the $39 range, and it could happen very fast if Bitcoin also dumps to the downside. And also with this overhead resistance, we're looking at $51. This area here that we hit before is also correlating with that 200 moving average. So you have two things going against you there acting as overhead resistance. So we're just going to have to see. We have to be patient, guys. Patience is the key in trading. Some of the best things you can do is being out of the market, sitting back, waiting for a great opportunity, as opposed to jumping in and losing 20-30% of your money right away. Really wait for that confirmation. Do you see, guys, even after this downtrend right here, there's a bullish engulfing candle, but that wouldn't have been the time to jump in. What I like to look for is that first higher low right here with a bullish engulfing candle. Then I would have been in. And there was that higher low after we've had these lower highs and lower lows for so long coming in. And that was the signal of the trend change right there. That's the type of stuff that you want to look for, guys, but you have to be patient. So that's Litecoin. We'll take a quick look at trading view on Litecoin just to see what it's throwing here for us. Overall, we have a 7 neutral, 1 sell, 3 buy for our oscillators. Overall summary, we have a 6 sell, 8 neutral, 14 buy, and then moving average is a 5 sell, 1 neutral, and 11 buy. So the main things here that are mostly neutrals are relative strength, our stock, our awesome oscillator is a buy, and our MACD level is a buy right now is what that's showing. Okay, so that's going to be Litecoin, guys. Let me know if you want me to keep covering Litecoin. I don't know how many Litecoin people there are out there, so it's always nice to just see, you know, people say, hey, I'm here for Litecoin, or I'm here for this coin or that coin, so I can put in the top 3 to 4 that you all really want to see here. And then the next one we're going to go into, and also share with your friends, guys. Smash that like button. We've just been getting buried by the algorithm, so if you can help this channel out, I'd really appreciate it. And then we'll go into OmiseGO next. And this is a position I've been in. This is the one I have been playing. I got in at $1.42. And right now I'm still just sitting in this position because for me right now we're still up above the 20, we're still up above the 50, we're still up above the 200. We had our trend line break out to the upside. It came on a lot of volume, so that was a really good thing here. We came back down, we set a higher low, and then we tried to push back up and we failed. You see this really long wick here. We pushed back up to around that $2.18. We tested it and failed. And now we've had a little bit more selling volume in, but for me, I want to stay in this position. I have a break even stop in at that $1.42. I think it was somewhere around that. So if we do start dropping back down through that, then guys, you know, I'll most likely be out of my position. But for right now, I want to let this run while I can. You know, guys, I'm even thinking about it as I'm looking at this. I may even move it down a little bit more in terms of my stop loss because this $1.38 here, this is going to be an area. This was our previous resistance that we broke up through. We found support off it. We don't want to break down through that. That's going to be the area that we want to hold. So I might even put a stop loss a little bit below that, maybe around that 131, 130, somewhere right in that range. Because if my stop loss is triggered, then I'll look for a better opportunity. That may push us all the way back down to this 50 moving average around $1. This is how these things work, guys. And in terms of trading view here, what we're going to take a look at, we have a 3 sell, 10 neutral, 15 buy, oscillators 2 sell, 9 neutral, 0 buy, moving averages 1 sell, 1 neutral, 15 buy. That's what you're looking at there. But the trend still has continuously been up. This has been a very nice uptrend, and that's why, for me, I'm staying in my position right now. Could I take some profits right now? Yes. But for me, if we get a whole nother leg up here and we start targeting up to around that $3 range, that's going to be very impressive gains, you know, and that's the type of stuff that I'm looking for. You buy something at $1.42 and you're able to sell it out close to around $3. That's one heck of a trade. That's what I'm looking for. But, you know, that break even stop or maybe even a little bit lower below that, that's part of playing the game, guys. That's the risk that's involved. But you have to take risk if you're going to be in this game. And for me, in this position right now, I think I'm going to continue to let it ride until I really start seeing, you know, Ethereum or Bitcoin start breaking hard to the downside. This is still just such a sticky area all around for us. Now, in terms of this right here, we're going to take a quick look at our relative strength index. Relative strength, we pushed up to about 90, and you can see 90 with the wicks. So truly, guys, I wasn't at my computer there, but that would have been the time to take the profits. When your RSI is up at 90 on the one day and you're seeing all those wicks, I was at work. That's definitely the time. I got back once I basically saw all this selling pressure or whatnot the last time that I really got to examine OmiseGO like I want to examine OmiseGO. For me, it's just a little bit longer term hold right now. So that's OmiseGO, guys. Relative strength sitting at 65 right now. We'll just have to see if we get that next pop to the upside around that $1.89 or if we're going to go down to that 138 and see if we hold that as support. So that's going to be OmiseGO. You like me covering OmiseGO, guys? Let me know down low. And then the last one we'll do is DigiByte. I know the DigiByte crowd here has been very strong for me, and I'll do the best that I can for y'all. And if you're here for DigiByte, give me a thumbs up. Just put DGB by it so I know. Then we'll look at Bittrex here. So guys, this is a lot of what we've talked about here. Remember how we talked about all the increasing volume and how this potentially could have been a top for us. So now we're still having lower highs And then we're having those lower lows, but we're trying to set a higher low here. This would be the area. If we can find support off this 50 moving average, maybe this spot we can find a base and then start trying to challenge back up. So we need to find support at 0.01632 is going to be the area for us for support. And then in terms of getting up over the resistance, we're going to be at 0.01954 is going to be the first overhead resistance. Then it's going to be around that 0.02244, and then it'd be up around that 0.02488 is going to be the areas. But, you know, guys, this is just the spot. I'd like to see DigiByte get a bounce off this because it's correlating with this 50 moving average. This was also resistance, previous resistance that we broke up through that we would want to turn into support is what I'd be looking at there. So for DigiByte, you know, if I didn't have any, I wouldn't necessarily jump right in right now. I'd wait to see for that confirmation, see if this is going to be our high or low, start to look for some indicators, see if we're going to get that next move to the upside. But we have had a nice retracement from the top to where we retraced to the bottom. That's 51%. That's how fast these things move, guys. And we need to be very aware of this. And this uptrend started with these tweezer bottoms, exactly, really super long tweezer bottoms right there. That's what kicked off our overall bottom and changed the trend from a downtrend into an uptrend. Now, in terms of DigiByte, we'll take a look here. And what you're seeing is a 12 sell, 8 neutral, 8 buy. In the overall summary, our oscillators 2 sell, 7 neutral, 2 buy, and then moving averages 10 sell, 1 neutral, 6 buy. So guys, that's what I have for you today. God bless each and every one of you. Take care. Let me know down low if you get some from this. God bless.